welcome to Contracting Conversations. My name is Scott Williams, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jim Balley. Today, we are talking with Kurt Chelf, DAU's Learning Asset Manager for Con 7500 Contract Financing. Welcome, Kurt. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Great to talk to you today.
Absolutely. Hey, Kurt, kick us off. Can you just describe the course for us?
Yeah, we have put together an online course, which means there's no instructor involved. It gives the students a chance to go through at their own pace, to pause, go back, and reflect on things they've learned. And it's a course that covers FAR Part 32, which is contract financing.
All right, Kurt. So because it's online, how does the assessment work for the students?
Well, getting to the assessment, what we do first is we walk the students through various parts of FAR Part 32 and the different types of contract financing. And throughout the process, we'll have a series of knowledge checks, which allows the student to kind of check up on their learning as they go. And then at the end of the course, there's one single assessment that they have to pass to get credit for the course.
Okay, great.
Hey, Kurt, who do you see as the target audience for the course itself? Which folks in contracting would this really fit well in their development?
Well, that's a great question because I think this is a course that is good for everybody in contracting and people outside of contracting. So first, for the contracting community, regardless of where you work, you probably deal with contract financing in one way or another. Even if you're in a contract administration role, you may have to take on making payments and understanding where the money's going. So I think that people at pre-award need to think about contract financing and people post-award as well. But more than just that, I think program managers and other people on the acquisition team should be familiar with the types of contract financing that are allowed, because I think people confuse different forms of financing when they're talking about different contracts. So I think it's a great course. It's only a couple of hours long, and it gives everybody in the acquisition community a chance to get a kind of an understanding of the basics of all the types of contract financing that are allowed by the FAR.
Okay, Kurt. So it makes it sound like, okay, so you think everybody, systems, DCMA, DLA, do you think operational contracting would find it beneficial?
Yeah, there was a day when maybe operational contracting people never saw things like contract financing, but those days have changed. There's a lot more complex contracts at the operational base and post level now. And I think even though a person may not deal with contract financing on most of their contracts, having the knowledge of what's available is probably good for them to help form future contracts that might be a little more complex. So yeah, I think it's a good course for everybody to get the basics of FAR Part 32.
Yeah, and it makes sense since it's only 2 hours, so they're not putting a lot into it. So that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kurt, I think knowing the fact it'd be a really good fit for a lot of folks, and the folks that are listening out there, I know sometimes you're trying to put together your professional development plan going forward. So this particular course, the 7500, would be a really good one to start off with, especially, once you're just coming off of folks that are finishing the basic certification. This would be a really good class to get started with your education in contracting. So this particular course, even like Jim and Kurt have mentioned, it's a couple hours long, a couple of CLPs, but it sounds like it would be very beneficial for a lot of folks out there just to get a good handle on financing, which is a really important part of contracting.
Yeah, and there's more to financing than some people think. So what this course does is it goes beyond just introducing what, say, progress payments and performance-based payments are. It starts out with going through kind of the scope and the policy for contract financing, and it explains all the different types of things you need to consider before you offer contract financing, including things like the financial responsibility from the contractors, other prompt payment, electronic transfers, and things like that. And then it goes on for the last two modules, and it focuses first on financing for other than commercial purchases and follows up with the last module, which is for contracting for commercial product and commercial services. So it covers the whole gamut of the type of contracts that we deal with and makes sure to isolate which contract financing methods are allowed under different circumstances.
All right, that's outstanding, Kurt. It sounds like a really good course. Is there anything else you want to add before we sign off today?
No, I just think that it's a good course for people to get their feet wet. It's a good course to be as a refresher for people that have been in the field for a while. I think a lot of times people that work in the field for a number of years start to think that they've seen it all, and what they've seen is what they're used to. And I think it's a good chance to go in there and refresh on the other options that are available, even those that they might not have worked with recently. I think it's a good opportunity, and it's a short commitment.
All right, thanks, Kurt. So thanks for coming on the show today.
Absolutely. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk about this course, and look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Definitely. We really appreciate it. So thank you, everybody. That's all we have talking about Con 7500 contract financing. So if you haven't already, subscribe to our Contracting Conversations channel so that you will get notifications from YouTube or DAU Media anytime a new recording comes out. And please type any comments below with any of your questions for future discussions, and spread the word of this channel to your peers and to those you supervise or lead. Let us help you answer their questions. We look forward to having future contracting conversations with you.